Under the Skin is a science fiction film directed by Jonathan Glazer.
Hey, never.
Am I keeping you from something?
No.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
For what? For work?
No, I need to go meet somebody.
Are you going to meet someone?
Aye.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
What this added to the film was a sense of reality, truth. Who would feel more like a mechanic than an actual mechanic? Who would feel more like a street urchin than a real street urchin? Acting in the 1940s and 1950s, the time in which neorealism became popular in Italy, often featured broad acting that would seem uncommon and even hammy by the more realistic style of today. Theater acting, not screen acting as we know it. Neorealism flipped all that and gave actors an honest voice because they were not actors. Does Under the Skin follow this example? Largely yes. Although we shot much of the film like that, where we could build the cameras into the dashboard in her car or hide them in street furniture to watch her walking down the street and not alert the general public that there was any filming going on at all. Much of the film was shot covertly like that." Unquote. Much of the film is about sexuality and how readily men are to follow a woman they do not know if it may result in sex. By recording actual men being chatted up by a gorgeous woman who they do not know, and seeing whether or not they would get into a car at the promise of intimacy, we are seeing a more genuine response. Were it filmed in the traditional way, people would claim that these men are outliers to her invitation, uncommon. We may claim that no real, sensible man would ever enter what appeared to be a kidnapping scenario in hopes of having sex, and yet they did. These are real men, and they really are tempted. They also employed a lot of improvised dialogue to capture real emotion. As said, many of the conversations in this film are improvised. Under the Skin also eschews scripted dialogue in another way by having very little dialogue at all. In fact, it is not until 13 minutes into the film that we hear anything besides a mumble.
Falls.
Italian neorealism films were shot almost exclusively on location rather than in a soundstage. That is mostly true of Under the Skin, though there are a few notable exceptions. The all-white room and the all... Fantasia, Disney's 1940 animated musical classic, features almost nothing spoken, except for short introductions of each segment by the composer. Each tale is told almost entirely through music and visuals. No segment suffers from lack of dialogue, though. Rather, it is enhanced. Film isn't always what you do, it's what you don't do. In this case, Fantasia has the audience hypnotized into a world of music and color. Our minds can fill in the blanks where the dialogue might have been, if it is even needed at all. The Raid Redemption, unlike Fantasia, has one cohesive story, and yet, much like Fantasia, it tells nearly all of its story through motion. This is not proof of a shallow film, though. Instead, it is evidence that a film can be told more through its sensory output than through traditional dialogue. Laura's desire to understand what is figuratively inside humans, beneath the surface, under the skin. At the end of the film, Laura is exposed, and any chance of having what we would consider a normal life on Earth is ripped away from her. The title has a dual meaning, and the scenes in which the victims are broken down into human gore is a metaphor about her desire for what is inside. Thanks for watching.